Good morning, Alex and friends. I'm Grace. Today is Monday, September 16th, 2024, and you're listening to Alex's News. The high in Riverside today will reach 73.9 degrees, with a low of 62.2, making for a pleasant autumn day. Coming up on Alex's News, we'll explore a security test involving a former president in Florida. We'll also delve into California's strategy to fight increasing EBT fraud. Plus, we'll tell you about a rare lunar phenomenon set to illuminate the night sky this September. Stay tuned for these stories and more on Alex's News. We begin with breaking news out of Florida, where an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump was thwarted yesterday. For more on this developing story, we're joined by our correspondent, Ethan. Ethan, what can you tell us about this alarming incident?
Grace, this is indeed a serious situation. According to reports from the Washington Post and Los Angeles Times, the incident occurred yesterday, September 15th, at around 1:30 p.m. at the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. A Secret Service agent spotted a man holding a rifle near the golf course where former President Trump was playing.
That's certainly concerning. Do we know who this individual was?
Yes, the suspect has been identified as Ryan Wesley Routh, a 58-year-old man from Hawaii. After being spotted, Routh fled the scene, leaving behind a rifle, backpacks containing bullet-resistant ceramic plates, and a GoPro video recording device. He was later apprehended on Interstate 95 after a quick-thinking passerby photographed his vehicle's license plate.
It sounds like this could have been a very dangerous situation. What do we know about Routh's background?
Interestingly, Routh has a rather complex history. In 2022, he attempted to join the war effort in Ukraine, traveling to Kyiv to support Ukrainian forces. He was even filmed by the Associated Press in April 2022 at a demonstration in Kyiv's Independence Square. However, it's important to note that he wasn't officially affiliated with the Ukrainian military or any official groups.
That's quite a background. Does Routh have any prior criminal history?
Yes, he does. In 2002, Routh faced a charge for possession of a weapon of mass destruction in North Carolina, though this charge was later dropped. He also had other criminal charges in the state, including felony larceny and possessing stolen goods.
Given the seriousness of this incident, how are authorities responding?
The FBI is leading the investigation, Grace. Local authorities are also considering filing charges. Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg has indicated that local charges wouldn't preclude potential federal charges. It's worth noting that this is the second time in 2 months that Trump has been targeted, following another assassination attempt at a rally in Pennsylvania in July.
That's certainly concerning. Has there been any discussion about enhancing security measures for the former president?
Yes. There are indications that security measures around Trump will be enhanced, including potential road closures and increased security presence. However, it's important to note that no specific changes have been announced yet. Any modifications to security protocols would likely be determined after a thorough review of the incident by relevant authorities.
How have political leaders responded to this incident?
There's been widespread condemnation of the violence from across the political spectrum. Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer have both expressed relief that Trump was unharmed and condemned the attempted violence.
Thank you, Ethan, for that comprehensive report on this developing story. We'll be sure to keep our viewers updated as we learn more.
You're welcome, Grace. We'll continue to follow this story closely.
Indeed we will. Thanks again, Ethan. This has been story 1 of 3. We turn now to an important update on California's efforts to combat fraud in its public assistance programs. Our reporter Chloe has been following this story closely. Chloe, what can you tell us about the new measures being implemented?
Thanks, Grace. California is taking a significant step to protect beneficiaries of public assistance programs by upgrading its electronic benefits transfer, or EBT, cards with enhanced security features. This move comes in response to alarming increases in EBT theft across the state.
Can you elaborate on the specific security enhancements we're talking about here?
Certainly, the new EBT cards will feature chip and tap technology, similar to what we see in modern debit and credit cards. This technology aims to prevent a common fraud method known as skimming, where criminals use devices to steal card information. Additionally, all cardholder information will be moved to the back of the card, making it even more challenging for potential fraudsters to capture and misuse this data.
That sounds like a substantial upgrade. When can Californians expect to see these new cards?
According to state officials, the rollout of these new cards is set to begin in May 2024, which is about 232 days from now. Most recipients should have their new cards by the end of summer 2024.
What's driving this change, Chloe? How severe has the EBT fraud problem become?
The numbers are quite staggering, Grace. To give you an idea, in Los Angeles County alone, EBT theft skyrocketed from $950,000 in 2021 to a whopping $63.1 million in the past year. This dramatic increase has put immense pressure on the system and highlighted the urgent need for better security measures.
That's an alarming jump. Who's behind this initiative to improve card security?
This effort, known as the EBT Card Security Effort, is a collaborative project involving the California EBT Project, the California Department of Social Services, and the EBT Vendor Fidelity Information Services. They're working together to implement these new security features and protect beneficiaries' funds.
Are there any additional steps EBT users can take to protect their benefits?
Yes, there are. The state is encouraging EBT card users to utilize a free application called EBT EGGE. This mobile and web-based app allows users to check their balances, review transaction history, and report any suspicious activity. It's an additional layer of protection that puts more control in the hands of the beneficiaries.
How effective is this chip and tap technology expected to be in preventing fraud?
Experts are quite optimistic about its effectiveness, Grace. The chip technology uses encryption to protect account information, making it significantly harder for scammers to copy and use card details. Chip cards are also less susceptible to skimming compared to the older magnetic stripe cards. Moreover, chip transactions involve more secure authentication processes, which should greatly reduce electronic theft.
Are other states taking similar measures to combat EBT fraud?
Yes, many states are implementing various strategies. Some are conducting regular inspections of card readers to detect skimming devices, while others are encouraging secure PIN entry and the use of secure locations for transactions. Some states are also offering features to freeze and unfreeze EBT cards when not in use, and many are focusing on educating beneficiaries about fraud prevention.
Is there evidence supporting the effectiveness of this technology in reducing fraud rates?
There is, Grace. We're seeing real-world implementation in states like California and Oklahoma, which are transitioning to chip technology specifically to combat the rise in EBT fraud. Industry experts, such as those at ECRS, emphasize that chip cards offer increased security measures, including advanced encryption. Additionally, there's legislative support for this technology, with states like New York proposing laws to mandate the use of chip technology for EBT cards.
Well, it certainly sounds like a step in the right direction. Thank you for that comprehensive report, Chloe.
You're welcome, Grace. It's clear that protecting these essential resources is a top priority for many states, and these new measures represent a significant effort to ensure that public assistance reaches those who truly need it.
Indeed. Thanks again, Chloe, for bringing us up to speed on this important development. Here are some other headlines. Germany has initiated comprehensive border checks at all its land borders to address irregular migration and enhance internal security. The measures, which began on September 16, 2024, will last for 6 months and include borders with France, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Denmark. This expands on existing checks at borders with Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, and Switzerland. Severe flooding in Central Europe has resulted in multiple fatalities and widespread damage. In Poland, 5 people have died, while one woman drowned in the Czech Republic. Thousands have been evacuated, and major cities like Opole and Wrocław are under threat. Climate scientists link the severity of the flooding to climate change, warning of increased frequency and intensity of such events. The TV series Shogun has broken Emmy records with 18 wins in a single year, including Outstanding Drama Series. In a surprise upset, Hacks beat out The Bear in the comedy categories. A lack of civics knowledge among American adults has led to colleges filling the educational gap. Surveys show that many, including college graduates, struggle with basic governmental concepts. Some states are now requiring civics courses in publicly funded colleges to address this issue. Veteran broadcaster Connie Chung unknowingly inspired a generation of Asian American parents to name their daughters after her. This Connie generation emerged during Chung's prominent career in television news, highlighting the impact of representation in media on cultural choices. We're turning our attention to the skies now, for a truly spectacular event coming up tomorrow. Joining us to discuss this celestial phenomenon is our science correspondent, Ethan. Ethan, what can you tell us about this rare occurrence?
Thanks, Grace. We're in for quite a treat tomorrow night, as we'll be witnessing what astronomers are calling a celestial trifecta. This event, set to occur on Tuesday, September 17th, combines three significant astronomical phenomena: a harvest moon, a supermoon, and a partial lunar eclipse.
That sounds fascinating, Ethan. Can you break down what each of these terms means for our viewers?
Certainly, Grace. Let's start with the harvest moon. This is the full moon that occurs closest to the autumnal equinox, which marks the beginning of fall. A supermoon, on the other hand, happens when the full moon is at its closest point to Earth in its orbit, making it appear larger than usual. Lastly, a partial lunar eclipse occurs when Earth is positioned between the Sun and the Moon, casting a shadow on the lunar surface.
I see. And how rare is it for all three of these events to happen simultaneously?
It's quite rare, Grace. According to astrophysicist Teresa Monsu of NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, this combination of events is considered a rare occurrence. In fact, the next opportunity to witness a similar celestial trifecta won't be until October 8th, 2033. That's over 9 years from now.
Wow, that is quite special. Can you tell us more about what viewers can expect to see during this event?
Absolutely. During this partial eclipse, only the upper portion of the moon will be in Earth's darkest shadow, called the umbra. Most of the moon will be in the lighter shadow, known as the penumbra, which will give it a reddish-brown appearance. This is often referred to as a blood moon.
That sounds beautiful. When exactly should people be looking up at the sky to catch this event?
The lunar eclipse will reach its peak at 10:44 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. However, specific viewing times will vary by location. For example, in New York, the event begins at 8.
And where will this event be visible from?
According to reporting from 90.5 WESA, Pittsburgh's NPR news station, the entire event will be visible from various parts of the world. This includes North and South America, except Alaska, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Western Asia, parts of Antarctica, and Eastern Polynesia.
That's quite a wide range. Is there anything special people need to do to view this event safely?
That's a great question, Grace. Unlike solar eclipses, it's completely safe to view a lunar eclipse directly without any eye protection. However, if you want to enhance your viewing experience, using telescopes or binoculars can give you a better look at the lunar surface features.
That's good to know. Any final tips for our viewers who want to catch this celestial trifecta?
Yes, I'd recommend checking local weather conditions to ensure clear skies. Also, for precise viewing times in specific locations, it's a good idea to consult reliable sources like timeanddate.com. And for those who might miss this event, there will be another full supermoon on October 17th, 2024, and a total lunar eclipse on March 14th, 2025.
Thank you, Ethan, for this fascinating insight into tomorrow night's celestial event. We appreciate your expertise.
My pleasure, Grace. It's always exciting to share these astronomical wonders.
Indeed it is. And that wraps up our third and final story for today. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to look up at the sky tomorrow night. That's all we have for now. Today's episode was made by Alexander King with Claude Sonnet 3.5, the Perplexity API, and the Google Cloud Text-to-Speech API. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, Alex.